While lunch was being prepared, Maddie and gave Bindi a quick tour of his home. His family raised their own chickens and grew vegetables in the lot next to the house. Bindi was impressed. The aroma of mildly spiced food wafted out to tempt the children back inside. Something smells awesome. Bindi realized she was ravenous after her big morning at the school, not to mention running around after the tiger trap. Retain drove in through the front. Maddie led the way down the driveway, past the yellow truck. Bindi couldn't help but notice that the back of the truck looked beaten up. It probably had more than a few logs fall onto it. But Maddie had told her that his dad worked for a timber mill. They had headed inside. Please sit. Maddie's mom pointed to a cushion on the floor. The whole family gathered around a low wooden table piled high with steaming goodness, and soon everyone was eating with relish. There was rendang, meat simmering in spice, and coconut milk, and lots of rice, along with teriyaki, a fresh salad, and some delicious green tea to wash it all down with. Bindi thought the combination of flavors was truly delicious. Maddie's father, Bashi, asked Bindi why she was visiting the school. Between the mouthfuls, Bindi explained, "I came to tell the school how the tiger's habitat is being destroyed by oil palm plantations, pulp forests, and lodgings, and that tiger is also in danger from illegal poaching. If something isn't done soon, there will be no more tigers left in Sumatra. People should speak up for illegal activity instead of just letting it continue. We made this in school." Maddie proudly held up one of his tiger posters. His family was very impressed, but Maddie noticed that his father looked annoyed. As the family continued to eat, Bashi stood up. He turned to Bindi. "This is all very well to draw pictures and play with tiger traps, but I am a lodger, and this is how I put food on the table and feed my family. They rely on me to support them. If I lose my job, then we will all go hungry." Maddie was embarrassed by his father's outburst. But Bindi is also trying to say that we can make a difference. It is easy for Bindi to say this. She is a foreigner. She doesn't know what life is like for us here. The right thing is not always so easy to do. But she abruptly turned and left the room. "I'm so sorry," said Bindi. She had somehow offended her host without meaning to. Maddie tried to reassure her. "It's not your fault, Bindi. My father has a stressful job, and they are laying off lots of workers. He's worried he will lose his job." Bindi nodded. Maddie held out his poster to Bindi. "I'd like you to keep this so you remember there are people in Sumatra who want to save the tiger." "Thanks, Bindi. That's so nice of you." Bindi took the poster and stood up from the table, thanking the family for lunch. She turned back to Maddie. "Would you mind waiting with me outside until my mom gets here?" Of course, the new friends made their way outside and waited on the driveway. Bindi looked at the truck in the driveway again. "Gosh, lodging work must be rough. Check out the dents in your dad's truck." Maddie looked at the damage. "That's strange. I've never noticed them before, and it's my job to clean it." "What would cause holes like this?" Maddie shrugged. "Normally I'd say big logs, but these look more like bullet holes." They inspected the dents more closely. Suddenly Bindi gasped. Then they lowered her voice. Maddie, do you remember my story about the poachers and the tiger and how the getaway truck got shot at? Now your dad's truck has new bullet holes. Don't you think that's a strange coincidence? Maddie looked offended. What are you saying? I don't know. I just think it's a bit strange and it might explain why your dad is so worried and upset. Maddie thought about what Bindi was saying. What do you think we should do? Should I ask my father? He'll be leaving for work soon. Bindi thought for a moment and then shook her head. We don't know if he's done anything wrong. I think we should follow your dad and see whether we can find anything out. Maddie looked upset. I don't know. I guess once we know what's wrong, we might be able to help. At that moment, Bashi came outside. He didn't notice Maddie and Bindi as he got inside the truck and started the engine. Now's our chance, said Maddie, making a split-second decision as he lifted the roller door and scrambled into the back of the truck. What about school? Whispered Bindi as she joined him. I'm top of my class, Maddie whispered back, grinning. I can miss an afternoon if it means helping my father. The two friends held on tight as the truck reversed out of the driveway. It was this Was it the right thing to do? Neither of them knew for certain, but they guessed they'd find out one way or another.